Hello, we have our 12-inch Lightning legging and our bag. It has been sitting on a block. I steamed it. It turned out really nice. It's nice and flat. Those edges right here just laid down really nice. And there was just a little bit of rippling that was happening down here. This Haida spider web is smaller than what's up here. And this lattice is a little bit smaller than what's up here. I have a natural incline, I guess you could call it, of legging the calf and then the ankle. So this one's a little bit wider than what's below. My way of weaving. Let's see. For the strap of the Lightning bag, I did 78 inches of Chilkat warp. You could use leather cording, or you can get some of your weft and do a braid, three long braids. About 78 inches would be good to work with for an adult size strap. You could use Raven's tail warp, or you could mix the Raven's tail warp with the weft or the leather cord. It's so much fun to have different options. And then all I'm going to do is braid these three for the strap, and then I'm going to end right at the point where it's about that long, because the goal is to have just a little tassel hanging from the side. So 78 inches and doing a braid for our strap. With our 3 78-inch Chilkat warp, we got 54-inch strap after we braided the three together, which I think is very beautiful. I love the contrast of the boiled yellow cedar and that merino wool warp. I think it's going to make a beautiful strap. And we got 7-inch fringe for the side of our dance bag. And let's see how it looks and take it off our block. These are very, very sharp. They come with these guards. And it is called Wool Love. That's the brand, in case you want to add on to your Santa list. And I'm just pulling it up and kind of giving it a wiggle to support those pins as they're being pulled out of the foam. And I did a low steam. I did a very, very low steam on this. It's laying nice and flat. These will rest. These will rest after a while, especially when they get dance. I did comb all the fringe and cut them at least close to each other on the length. And I did that as well as with the black fringe. So there it is. It's laying nice and flat. Now we're going to get some paper and do a drawing on the edges to get the size that we need for our bag. So I got 2 pieces of drawing paper, and I taped them together to get the design field that I needed to trace the legging dance bag for the wool or the liner, whether you're using cotton or leather, or in my case I'm using some wool. And you want to just go around, and you can go inside from your edge and just do a little dots to create some lines, and I've already finished that side. You go to the bottom and just create some dotted lines excuse me, for your pattern. I'll take that off and so I can see where my lines are, and I'll connect those. I did do the top edge, and then I also did the loom edge. So this is how much you would need if you're doing bias tape, or you'd go all the way to the this first line if you're doing the fur. Most of us are doing the bias tape. There is a video on the dance bag, the lightning dance bag, and we did the rabbit fur and the bias tape. The Arctic rabbit was really pretty. So now we have a template of our dance bag. So you kind of tapered in on me, even though I blocked it right here. You can see where some of my weaving was a little bit tighter. This is nice and straight, and my right side tends to do this a lot. And each legging is going to be different, so you'll want to do this for each side if you are going to do both for the leggings. So I have cut the wool to match the legging. Our next step will be I'm going to make this into a dance bag, but if you're making this into a legging, you can either use your Raven's Tail warp or your Chilkat warp, or you can use some bias tape or this is another type of piping bias tape. Those, as well as leather, can be used for your legging straps, and you'd want to sew those on at the calf and at the ankle, and you would want to measure who you're making these for. You can double so it can wrap around the back and then to the front and then to the back again and tie, and the same with the ankles, the strap going, and you could do the measurement where it wraps in the back and then comes back to the ankle, and then they could tie it. So those are some of the choices that you have. So we're going to continue making this a dance bag, and I'm going to get the bias tape ready for it. We're going to be sewing the sides. I pinned the piping bias tape to the edge of each side, and now I'm going to hand sew this and turn it the right side, and we'll attach it to our dance bag. I pinned the piping bias tape to the edge of each side, and now I'm going to hand sew this and turn it the right side, and we'll attach it to our dance bag. So I had turned it on, I sewed it on the inside out, and now I turned it, and you can see the brown piping. It's such a beautiful touch. And I chose brown to go with the boiled yellow cedar. I thought that would be a great accent. So now we're going to sew this part to our dance bag. If we were turning it into leggings, we would sew our strap at the calf part, right here and right here, and just a soft sew on the edges, and then also down at the ankles. So what I'm going to do is sew this to the side of the dance bag. That's next. There I have pinned the back of the bag to the legging, and I'm going to do a soft running stitch from the front to the back and follow right by the two heading cords. So I'm just going to go through this area on sewing this down, and then I could tuck that in as I go if I need to have it go up to the edge. But I'm just going to follow that, and then there is a line right there that we can keep just sewing down softly. You could kind of see the crease right there. And then I'm going to stop there and then go from that side to this side. I have sewn the bag liner to the dance bag, and from the front I did do a running stitch, so the front is connected, and then this part we'll have to take care of. I'm probably going to do some bias, or I might do a beaded edge with some maybe some other pearl buttons. I haven't figured this part out yet. I'm like, what am I going to do for that part? Here I'm going to connect the cord. There it is. There it is. So I'm going to do like a running stitch, a really soft one. I'm going to go through where those two warp ends are and go through the back like I did with sewing the bag on, and then going over the cord. And I'm going to go in, try to go in within the braid itself, and then just do back and forth and do that on both sides. And that the idea is that the front and the back of the bag, along with the piping bias tape, is going to support the weight that we put into the bag. So having it going back and forth on that side, those side cords will help with some of the weight and not pull on our weaving. So we sewed on our straps, and they're sewn from the front to the back, and I think I might put maybe an abalone button here, maybe run some abalone buttons here. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do a bias or the Arctic Rabbit. So those are going to be fun. Those are like choices that maybe you might want to think about what you want to do with yours. You could even get leather and have a leather fold over as bias tape. So let me know what you end up doing. Are you going to put buttons here, or maybe some ermines? You could do some beadwork and add some beadwork here at another time. It's just so fun to think of all the different things that we can do with our dance bag, our lightning dance bag.